Good morning, guys. It's quiet today. Happy Monday. How are y'all? Who's got
It's
wins today?
quiet. Talk it up,
I'm
cat. Talk
serious.
it
Where's the
up.
cafecito, guys? Let's go. It's Monday. It's beautiful. You got a win over the weekend at least, right?
Money making Mondays.
Love it.
Talk it up in the chat, guys. We got 2 minutes before everybody gets in here. Any wins, any losses, anybody get new appointments, anybody get new clients, anybody pitch a client and it didn't go well. So talk about it in the chat. Let us know what's up. Talk about it, some wins. Let's go. It's the morning mindset call. We trying to get your mindset right. Let us know what's going on, what wins, what losses, what lessons. Let's talk it up.
All right. William says he got 3 appointments. That's what's up, Mr. Zhao. What's your
Let's
niche?
go, Will. I see you working.
Killer, killer.
Selena launched B2B ads. Let's go. That's what I like to hear. And Will got 3 appointments in the roofing space. Okay, I see you. That's good. That's good. Any lessons from those 3 appointments? Any lessons that you learned? Just started my journey. Sabu, welcome, welcome. Excited.
Welcome, my dude. Great community to be a part of. Love your branding, by the way. Sabu Systems. I like that.
And the B2B ads, what niche did you launch for, Selena? And how much did you spend so far? Any results on that? Converted a free trial to a paid client. Let's go. So we seeing some people taking action, getting some results. That's what I like to see. Congrats, family. Anybody here in the chat new members, new to the family, give us a one in the chat if you're new. This is your first time on a call. Give us a two if you're an OG vet and you've been with us before. This is your third, fourth, or fifth plus call. So give me a one if you're a newbie. Give me a two if you're an OG in the agency lab family. There we go. I know people don't got their cameras on, but we could still interact in the chat. We could still keep it lively. So make sure you unmute, speak, and or chat in the chat box. Me and Kat are here for you guys' benefit, for you to Q&A, ask questions, make sure you're engaged. So if you guys are not engaged, we don't have to be here. If you guys don't want to be here, me and Kat don't have to be here. So this is about you guys and making sure you're engaged, learning, and tapped in. So please comment, unmute, and tap in with us. All right. Without further ado, Kat, it's 10:08. Whoever hasn't made it yet, they'll make it a little bit later. Let's keep rocking with the show.
They're going to have to jump in, Chris. All right, guys. So let's just run it back. If you've been joining us every Monday for the mindset call, Tuesdays for your ops and biz financials call, me and Chris have been doing a little bit of a duet on some of our shared passions around operations, mindset, content, branding, and all of the 32 different ways that you can really think big with these concepts and make some serious cash. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've been talking to you about our personal monetization plan that we follow with our clients, that we coach other 5, 6, 7, and 8-figure entrepreneurs and businesses on ways that they can utilize their commerce, their content, their culture, and their community to make cash in their business. So over the last, I'd say, month or so, we've been breaking these down pretty in depth with you guys, kind of going over, what it is that you can apply to your businesses, no matter if you're just starting. Because we've had a lot of folks that say, hey, I'm just like, first or second week in, is this applicable? Yes, it is always applicable. And then whether you're, a couple years, couple months in, I think all of this is about having great business foundations, great repeatable practices. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So I'm an ops coach, and I'm going to talk to you about what my repeatable practices are around the framework audit, optimize, publish, scale. Now, we've been breaking this down per different C. And if you missed the last few weeks, the 4 C's are Chris's framework. And so, Chris, maybe you could very high level kind of summarize your framework one more time. And then we'll talk about how we can blow this up even more when we combine our frameworks together. Also, what is framework, especially for the new folks that are on this call?
So a framework to me is the strategy that you use as a base, like to accomplish a certain goal. So like a framework of baking a cake. You get what I'm saying? You got maybe your 4 major steps of baking a cake. You're gonna have your dough and all the stuff that you need to actually make it or whatever. You're gonna have your oven time. You're gonna have your mixing time of putting it all together, and then the resting time and cutting it up and putting the icing on it. As an example. So as a 3 or 4 step framework of building a cake, you gotta grab the raw ingredients, mix the raw ingredients, then put it in the oven, let it sit, and put the icing on it. 4 steps, right? That's the 4 step framework of building a cake. Now, inside of that framework, then there comes the little details. How long, how much sugar should I put in it? How much milk should I put in it? How many eggs should I put in it? All these other little tactical pieces of building that cake. So, the reason that the framework is so important and has changed my life is because if you start to utilize the frameworks, it's like understanding how people fish. It's great to know that somebody could give you fish because they know how to fish really well and they give you some fish, but it's what's better to know is how did they actually get the fish? How can I do what they're doing? And that's what the frameworks teach you. It doesn't teach you just how they caught the fish that one time. It teaches you if the tide changes, if the water's in a different area, if something is different in the marketplace, how could you still get the same result? If I know the framework, I can get the same result no matter the situation. So that's why frameworks are so important to me. And I think that the 2 frameworks we're showing you guys are huge, huge um, starter point for you guys because it's based off of mine and Kat's decades of experience. So now you guys are taking these decades of experience, implementing them into your business, and immediately being able to have a better starting point than anyone else in your position. So that's to me the importance and value of frameworks. I didn't understand this when I first started out in the business. I said it before, but especially in the last 2 years or so, like after a decade or so in business, I started to really understand the value of a framework and how these higher people like a Joel or Alex Hermosi or Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or Russell Brunson, how they have gotten to the levels that they've gotten to strategically using different people's frameworks and then creating their own framework based off of all of those people's ideologies and philosophies. And I would suggest the same for everybody. These are frameworks for us to teach you, but then now you guys putting together all the stuff that you're learning from different resources and places, now you will be able to have enough wisdom and knowledge to create your own eventually.
Love it, man. Love it. And when we think about like the some of the literal definitions of framework, it provides guidance, right? So if you don't have your own framework, your own process, your own guidance of how you're going to do business and how you're going to lead your clients through business, how do you expect that to be like a smooth experience, not just for your client, but for your internal team? Framework really sets the stage for what that relationship internally, externally is going to look like forever. If you've been rocking with us the last few weeks, we even showed you guys how this framework is utilized in the agency lab community. So just want to back it up to that example one more time because you guys are deeply ingrained in the community as Chris and I are. There's a certain culture, right? So if we look at Chris's 4 C's, culture, content, community, commerce, there's a certain culture and language that we have here at Agency Lab. Let's fucking go. Wins, ones, fire. There's so many ways that we have culture. What does the culture in your business look like? What do you want your clients to perceive your culture like, right? There's a certain amount of content that Agency Lab has put out. Maybe you came in because you saw an ad from Joel. Maybe you took his free 2023 course and you decided you're going to take action, you're going to take that next step and surround yourself with community of like-minded entrepreneurs who are reaching for the same goals. Again, that content is part of what drew you in, is part of what really makes you a member of the community. Finally, there's the community, right? So right here on this call, in Discord, in the Facebook groups, in person, if you've ever come to a Rise X event or you go to any of the Agency Lab events, the courses, the community that we surround ourselves with is what helps to foster it, right? A good portion of folks that come into Agency Lab hear about it from other students. And in fact, that's part of how me and Chris met, was through the community, through a shared event. So it's a beautiful thing. And then finally, when you kind of wrap all this up together, organically, it's going to end up in commerce. So the more content you put out there, whether it's IG Live, YouTube, etc., if you put your culture out there, maybe you get some custom shirts or whatever for your business, and maybe you're growing your own community, all that's going to end up in commerce. But commerce goes deeper. Commerce is your data, your analytics, your processes, your systems, your AI, how you're tracking your numbers. There's so much that goes for it. So if you haven't checked out the last few weeks, I'm gonna leave it there. You guys missed some really good stuff as we broke down the 4 C's. But today I want to help you expand that even more. So I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about my framework. It's audit, optimize, publish, scale. So if you didn't know it, I am what's called a process publisher. What that means is I work with high-level entrepreneurs, CEOs, and thought leaders and extract what's stuck in their brain that makes their business super juicy, that really gives them that edge up and above. What's their super secret proprietary process that they've had trapped, they've grown a team perhaps, but they've never really taken the time to document. And that's such an important thing. And I help them publish this both internally in the form of processes, procedures, and SOPs, but I also help them publish this externally in the form of a lead magnet, right? So when you think about what makes the difference between like Coke and Shasta, right? Like the off-brand Sam's Club or big box store soda. The difference is going to be the brand. It's going to be the ingredients. That's the same thing for your business, right? So what makes people want to work with you if you're in roofing over, I don't know, maybe some other big influencer in this group that is in roofing too, right? Anyone have any guesses? Or Cairo, if anyone here is in Cairo, what makes them want to work with Joel over you or you over Joel? It's good questions there. It's all about your brand. It's about what makes your process, about what makes your business. And that's what I work with people to figure out. So let's dive really quick into the framework, and then we're going to bump this up against the 4 C's. We've been doing this over the last few weeks, but I want to take it to your businesses personally. Let's break apart and see how we can apply these frameworks to your businesses and give you some immediate results and take action points after this call. So first, it's important that you understand my framework. And I'm gonna get real personal with you guys. This is not just a business framework for me. This is a personal life framework. Okay. So the 4 steps: audit. That meant, if I'm talking about my personal life, I had to go and look at what was missing in my life. If this is your first time meeting me, again, my name's Kat Lopez. Before I became an entrepreneur in 2020, I was actually on Wall Street. Working in marketing in Fidelity Investments and a couple of big banks and financial institutions. And I was effing miserable. I was an addict, actually. And I was destroying my life. I was destroying my friends and the community around me. And I realized when I hit a low that I really had to look at myself. I had to audit myself. I had to see what was missing. I had to see why I had to choose the bottle over the people every time. Does that resonate with anyone here? I had to see what was missing, the gaps in my life that I wanted to optimize.
You talking facts right now. You touching the heartstrings. Talk about it.
All right. I had to really look at myself in that hole and say, Kat, like, where are you? Like, what are you trying to fill? Because you know what? The 6, 7 figures, It didn't matter. Money didn't matter because it wasn't buying me happiness. You can't buy that shit. Okay. So I had to look and see what was missing. Well, part of that was I was spending, 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. working. And then when I wasn't doing that, I was blowing all the money on the weekend partying with people that wanted to do the same because they wanted to ignore their life. And I had to audit and say, you know what I'm missing? I'm missing the family. I'm missing the people. I'm missing the activities I used to love doing. And then I had to choose step 2, and that's optimize. Thanks for the love, Alex, man. Step 2 was optimize. And what that meant was I had to look at my existing resources, systems, the network around me. I had plenty of plenty of entrepreneurs around me. I came from an entrepreneurial family. There was no reason why I had to stay in the situation that I was at. And so for me in that moment, optimizing meant looking around, seeing who was doing what. I had a buddy that was in the publishing business at the time. He needed an operator. I was already writing high level process and procedures for the biggest investment company in the world. Why would I not go and try to bring that outside? Fear of failure? Everyone here in this room has gotten over that because you're in the seat that you're in right now. So for me, it was just about taking that second step to optimize and to reach out and to shoot my shot and say, hey, you know what? I'm ready to leave corporate. You need an operator. I'm an expert operator in the corporate world. Let's do it. All right. Then it became really simple. I helped publish, right? So I jumped ship. I say it became simple, but any entrepreneur on here that's worked any kind of 9 to 5 before you're doing what you're doing right now, you were scared as shit when you left. I know I was, but it was worth every second since. So publishing for me at that time meant, well, I had to take this entrepreneurial buddy of mine and I had to whip him right into shape. There was not a single process, procedure, SOP, not even a functional Google Drive, no sort of storage, nothing. So publishing for me at that moment meant working with that person and some contractors as quickly as possible to document everything as quickly as possible so we could start growing and scaling the staff so that the business can stop being entirely dependent on this person and me. We needed folks to help us grow. Just like you guys are going to get out of solopreneur mode one day. Maybe you already are. Maybe you've got your first VA. Maybe you've got your first media buyer. If you haven't, you should be thinking about that. And what resources are you publishing to set them up for success so that you're not having to answer constant fires and questions every time because you used the resources that we gave you for free. January 10th, 2023, go look up that ops call. I'm showing you how to make processes and procedures in 2 minutes or less, video or written, just by clicking on the screen. January 10th, go look. All right, back to the journey. I had to publish internally, but I also helped that person publish externally. I started publishing over 60 authors that went from zero to hero, literally no book or an idea to a published book that is published and sold 40,000 retailers across the world, over 200 countries. I did this, guys. And then from there, all it was about scaling. All right. At that point, I was starting to get my life back. I was starting to go back to the gym, yoga. I'm a big hiker. I don't know if anyone here has any outdoor bones in them. Oh my gosh, that really that helps, You guys got to find what you love. I know that in this journey, I was able to find that again. That balance in personal means work, in having a life again. And so I'm talking to you from the heart, man. It gets so tough as an entrepreneur. You want to grow so fast, but you got to remember to grow yourself and to find that balance. Or else, what are you chasing? Just the same thing you left corporate for. Chris says traveling, being by water is important to him. Having that connection to something other than the screen, right? Or being able to take the screen on the go.
I feel like a lot of times, Kat, people talk to us about their struggles with business, and they talk about either working too hard and being like overworked in a way, and or they don't feel like they're going hard enough for their business, or like they're not putting in enough work. I think that what we're talking about here and finding that balance where you can travel, have your mental health, take care of your family and your personal needs, while at the same time being able to balance out that work and all the stuff that you got to do. I think is very important when you're talking about your framework of auditing your time, auditing what's working, auditing the things that are actually making you happy. These are going to be the things that matter. If you want to be in business for 5, 10 plus years, it's not going to be a race, it's going to be a marathon. So you have to pace yourself. You got to
So
make
true.
sure you're in this for the long haul, because you can it sounds great. Oh yeah, I worked 78 hours last week. It sounds really great. Like, when you're talking
Actually,
about
it
that
sounds
grind.
terrible.
No,
Like,
no, no,
I
but
mean,
it
let's be
sounds great
real.
for, like, the grind and hustle people. The grind and hustle
Yeah.
people, they want to say I put in 99 hours last week, which is all cool. But as one of my mentors said, when you say you grinding, it sounds like hard work. I don't want to work hard. I want to work smart. I'm not here to
Yes.
work hard. I'm here to work smart. You guys are joining this program so you could work smart. You're learning these frameworks so you could work smart. So these are hopefully things that have guided us in the right direction and gave us the right stability and structure in our business and in our lives, that you guys could be able to take some things away from and implement the same things. I just wanted to say that because a lot of times people, they're saying they are unbalanced with their sleep, with their family, with their mental health. This is going to be one of the most important things, because you can be like, I also want to say something. You could be unbalanced, but always balance it out. Meaning, if I want to spend 2 or 3 weeks going hard with Kat, and we're working, doing sprints every day and all this type of stuff, but then I might need a week or two off, and I need to just get back on my mental health and be okay. That's okay. I don't feel like I'm losing, and that's the part that people really got to understand. You have to put your mental health and your body and your physical health and how you feel, your sleep, all of that comes very important and is first, even more so than the business. So you can have unbalanced, joy and working on your business, going hard. You can have unbalanced joy going in your life, having a good time. Just know when to, swing the swing and balance on both sides, so that you could be able to, have growth on both sides. That's really what I want to say.
Love it, man. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. And that leans right into the fourth step here, guys. And that's about scaling. And the only way that you're going to scale without breaking, whether it's your production breaking because you don't have your processes, procedures, SOPs written, and you've instead built your business on you instead of a process, right? That's where production can break, and that's where the scale stops. Or perhaps you throw it back to your personal life, right? I'd scale to a certain level of income. I'd hit those goals that I said I got to be 29 and hit this six-figure goal, right? What did that mean? It was just some pie in the sky number. It didn't mean shit, because the truth is, at that point in my life, I stopped scaling and I fell deep down into a hole. And so if you guys really want to scale
Oh,
the
I
right
want to I
way,
want to say something right there, Kat. You
oh,
just you
go
just
ahead.
dropped the bar.
Go ahead,
I
man.
want everybody, give me a couple of people unmute in the chat and tell me some big goals that you have. So a lot of you guys I know are younger, maybe early 20s, mid 20s. Give me some 30-year-old goal you want to have. Like, when I turn 30, I want to do this, or when I turn 30, I want to have this. Give me three people right now, unmute or write it in the chat, and just give me your 30-year-old, or I want to have this much clients, I want to make this much in my business, I want to have this house or this car. Give me some stuff in the chat of some people, of some goals people have in
Man,
here.
man, I'm 33 years old.
You 33 years old, so talk to me. What's
Is
some
it
goals you
is
want
it
to
is
have,
it
bro?
over? Is it over for me?
Hell no, it's not
Never,
over, man. I hope not. I'm
never.
only 30, so I'm only getting started too.
I heard that. I heard that. Well, this is Brandon here, and I'm at the airport, so I'm not signing into my Zoom. But yeah, man, I just want to be. I'm coming back from a cruise, so I want to keep that going. I just want to be able to, fly directly. somewhere to an island with my family, pay off my house, just you know what I'm saying? Just take care of my family at this stage of my life. So just
Okay,
being
perfect.
comfortable and get that done, man.
Well, welcome back to the States and getting. It sounds like you just had a good trip or something. So that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Try to keep it
So
going.
that's perfect. So your goals is to be able to travel with the family more, be able to pay off the house and live comfortably.
That's it. That's all I want to do.
That's what I like to hear.
That sounds
Okay,
like freedom
perfect.
to me, my dude. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Sure
I just
does.
want to jump in,
Of
Yep.
if
course. Come on,
possible.
Joey, talk to us.
No, I just wanted to tell that guy. I mean, it's definitely not over, brother. I'm 38. I didn't start doing good until 2018 when I fell into the legal niche, personal injury, and changed my life, brother. I'm 38, turning 39. I've hit, I manifested this life, and I didn't give up. And dude, you guys are all so young and have so much time ahead of you guys. So if you just keep going, it's definitely going to happen. I mean, I live 6 blocks from the beach here in Huntington Beach. I have my office in Newport Beach. It has completely changed my life. And it all started with Joe Kaplan like four and a half years ago. I started sending cold emails and setting appointments, closing appointments. That's all I've ever done for the last 4 years, 5 years. And I just started my company here in March when I joined Agency Lab. And I just joined Rise. I'm at 305,000 this month as a
Hey,
company.
Let's
So
fucking
definitely,
go.
one's in the
definitely not
chat for
over,
that,
fellas.
guys. That's
Give me some
beautiful.
Definitely not
fire and
over.
ones in the chat. Shout out to my boy Joey.
Definitely not over.
Welcome,
And
man. I
just keep
appreciate
going.
your feedback.
Yeah. I just
Appreciate
wanted to
that,
give some
Joy.
love
Appreciate that,
and
man.
show that it's definitely possible for all of you, especially you young guys, man. But definitely you too, brother. You got lots of time.
No, and the thing is,
Appreciate
So
we
that,
all
much.
man.
chose this niche because we love marketing and we understand the opportunities that come with marketing. But one of my favorite aspects of marketing is I love looking at a nice old Dan Kennedy or Frank Kern and these guys who are OGs in the game and they're 50 plus, 60 plus, still killing it and making money in their old age and all this type of stuff. So you gotta understand that when it comes to this marketing stuff, consulting in the business world, this is really it doesn't matter. It's not like hip hop or music where it's like you have to be 20 years old to put out a hit. That's not what this is. So even though it's geared or tailored more towards the younger audience, like when I got into digital marketing, I was 16, 17, 18. So it's definitely a younger market in terms of the people that are learning it. But as far as the potential to stay in it and grow in it is limitless. Like we could be 90 years old. We could be the Warren Buffett of marketing. You know what I'm saying? Buying agencies, flipping companies, like this is business. You could do this as long as you have wit and ingenuity in your mind, you could do this. So that's the thing I want to say. So now the reason I asked about the goals, I got 3 people's goals so far. So I got one person who said they want to pay off their house and travel the family with the family. I got another one who said financial freedom by 30. Alex, give me one more goal. I'm just trying to prove a point right now. Give me one more goal of someone in the chat who is either 20, 30, 40, whatever it is that you're at, but you want to hit a certain goal, a certain number, a certain freedom point by the next decade, by the time you hit 30 or 40 or 50, whatever it is, you want to hit this certain goal. Give me one more last goal, and I'm gonna prove my point after this. Anybody unmute and just let me know.
Come on, guys. Don't be shy. We're talking real
Oh,
shit.
my goal is 100,000 a month profit by the end of the year. So I'm at
Beautiful.
300,000 revenue, maybe about 50, 60,000 profit this month so far. And my goal is 100 plus thousand a month. But I
Perfect.
need everything you guys talk about. I need to have no organization. I still don't know what I'm doing. I don't have the systems going, but that's why I'm here and that's why I'm learning.
Well, that's what we're here to support you with, my brother, because this is
Appreciate it,
about to
guys.
change your game right now. So, okay, perfect. So now we got the 3 goals. If I told all 3 of you guys who gave me your goals and your dreams, or anybody else who's on this call, that the only reason you're not hitting your numbers right now is because you lack confidence. I'm gonna say that one more time. The only reason you are not getting your goals and your numbers right now is because you lack confidence in whatever you think or you believe that you need to become to get that number. My man wants to make 100K in profit. He's already making 50, 60K in profit. He just doesn't believe in his heart at this moment that he can make 100K in profit. He believes that that moment is going to come in 6 months to the end of the year. My other man who said he wants to pay off his house and travel the world with his family. One, you're already traveling the world because you just said you coming back into the country. Two, you haven't paid off the house because you don't have the confidence and the belief in yourself that this thing is going to happen this month, next month, whatever it is. And the third person who said, I want to be financially free by 30, you have set a date of 30 in your mind, and now you have given yourself the leeway to slack off until 30.
Mm.
Now, I'm saying all of this, guys, not because I'm shitting on y'all. I'm saying all of this because this is something I learned personally. I made a bet with myself, guys, when I first started my agency and I was 18 years old. I started telling myself back then, I just want to hit 10K a month. I just want to hit 10K a month. That was my first big goal. Give me a 1 in the chat if your first big goal was 10K a month. Let me know in the chat if you was there. That was I worked for 5 years straight trying to figure that out. Like, how could I get consistently to 10K per month? So I see people's with me, right? Now let me give you guys this game, right? I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to get to 10K a month. Took me 5 years, right? Then I tell myself, well, I hit the 10K a month, and then that became like not a lot of money. As you hit 10K a month, very quickly you understand it's not a lot of money if you have a staff and tech and everything you got to pay for. So once I hit that, then I'm like, damn, that was quick. That was good. Okay, now let me get to 20. Then I hit 20 in like the first month right after. Like it took me 5 years to hit 10. It took me 1 month to hit 20. Then after I hit 20, it took me like 2 or 3 months to hit 30, 2 or 3 months to hit 40. You see what I'm saying? You keep going. And then I stopped myself. I didn't keep growing for a bit last year, right? And this is what happened. What happened was I had told myself I'm going to have the car I want, the house I want, the lifestyle I want at 30. That's what I told myself. So I've been telling myself that for 5 years. So for 5 years, I've been making money, decent money, and getting around and living life, but I wasn't living quote unquote the life that I wanted yet because I felt like I didn't have it and I didn't deserve it until 30, guys. Long story short, when I turned 30 on November, my birthday last November, I told my wife, this is crazy. I got the car that I want. I got the wife that I want. I got the house that I want. I get the travel, the business partners that I want. Everything that I want, I have. But the only thing is, why did I have to wait until now to get it? I'm 30. Why did I have to wait until now to get it? Oh, I had to wait because I told myself I wasn't going to be ready until 30. I told myself, I played myself out this game. If I would have told myself I could have had all of this at 25, I would have already, guys. If I would have told myself that I deserved all of this at 25 and everything that I have, I already knew everything that I know now then. I knew it at 25 already. I
It's
just
a
didn't have the confidence.
self-imposed, it's a self-imposed limiting belief. It's a
Correct.
defense mechanism, actually.
Yep, it is. Because we actually, because we are afraid of the failure that comes with that goal, we then push off the goal far enough that the failure doesn't hurt us today. You see what I'm saying? So this is I know I'm kind of like harping on this for a moment, but it's because it was such a breakthrough for me that made my life different. That I really want to be able to have somebody, one person on this call, hopefully, can really understand what I'm trying to say here. Whatever your goal is, however far away it is, bring it closer. Make it immediate. Make it a now thing, not a later thing. So if you want to have financial freedom, I don't care if you're 22 today and you said you want to do it by 30, figure out a way to get it to happen by 23. Figure out a way to make yourself believe that you can have it and deserve it by 23. For my man who wants to pay off his house, I know it seems impossible. I know it seems like it could be so far from now, like to pay off that house because it's a 30-year mortgage. But figure out, you're in these groups, you're figuring out, you're with people on calls that making 100K a month. You can figure out a way to pay off that mortgage in the next 60, 90, 120 days. But if you don't give yourself the urgency, the scarcity, the immediacy to make this thing happen, you'll continue to push it off and I'll pay it off in 5 years. I'll pay it off in 10 years. I'll pay it off in 20 years. Next thing you know, your kids are grown up and you can't really travel with them and experience life the way you want. This is the goal. We have to make all of our goals and all of our visions and missions more immediate and more direct of what we want right now. We have to stop pushing them back. So now I've changed all of my goals. Now I give myself 90-day goal periods. This is a bar for everybody.
There it is.
I used to do longer goals. I used to do 1, 3, 5-year goals. I changed that completely. Now I do 90-day sprints. I'm trying to hit this number in 90 days. When you do this, guys, and you set a date, like not just 90 days, random 90 days, like 90 days, this exact date in 90 days, October 15th at 12 o'clock noon, that's the date. When you start doing that and you write it down, put it all over on post-it boards, on your whiteboard, on your vision board, on your mirror in the morning, I promise you, your goals and things will start to manifest a lot faster and a lot sooner than when we just hit an arbitrary number and say, I'll get there, and at the end of the year, I'll hit my goal. No, take that mentality away from it. Make it immediate. Use the audit, optimize, publish, and scale framework. Use the 4 C's, and now you'll be able to really 10x your growth. I'm sorry, Kat. Keep it
No, you're
rocking.
good. That was beautiful. And you know what? If you fail, then let yourself taste the failure and know that you're going to be okay at the end of that. Know that you're going to have a whole other quarter to help reset that goal. And I put my money where my mouth is, guys. If I wouldn't have stopped with my addiction, if I didn't choose that day was going to be the day that I stopped cold turkey, I would not have had one more day at a time in Alcoholics Anonymous. Okay. So I really hope that you take something away from this in terms of making immediate action for your business. I'm going to explain the last framework, and then I want to hear from a few other folks here. Do you have a framework? If you don't, let's talk about how we can apply ours to yours and start simulating those brain juices so you can come up with your own framework too. Guys, the last step is very, very simple. Scale. So if you've audited and you've looked for the missing gaps in what's missing, personal, business, what do you need to squeeze the juice out of because you've got things that are slipping between the cracks? Maybe you're up at 3 a.m. answering the emails that you don't need to be doing because you just need to hire the right person, tech, robot. You've optimized across your existing resources, systems, sometimes across your human capital, right? If you started as a, have you really looked at job roles, responsibilities, and started delegating the way that you should? Or are you hanging on because you need that control, right? If you published, so you've gotten yourself right, your processes, procedures, your SOPs. By the way, in the chat, I went ahead and dropped you guys the link. If you don't have processes, procedures, Joey's for you, my dude. Go follow that link. You're going to make them in 2 minutes or less right after this call is done. Finally, and then potentially externally, if you're interested in talking about books and hooks and how that could help your business, just hit me up. We'll talk about it. Maybe I'll give you a little hookup on that too. Last, scale. What this means, guys, people ask like, what's my formula for operations? I'm showing it to you, okay? But my formula is also marketing. All I
Kat, can
do
you
is
zoom in a little
apply.
bit, please?
Yeah. All I do is apply marketing to operations. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to trust and hire the right people. You want people to hire you for ads, right? You have to go through the process of building trust and building confidence and letting them and making sure they feel confident that you're going to fulfill your services, right? Well, you need to apply the same thing in your business. If you're not trusting and hiring the right people, there's no point to the whole audit, optimize, and publish that you just completed. All you're doing is hanging on because you're afraid of losing control. But giving up some of that control was how you get freedom. That's what I learned in my personal journey. Okay. Scaling also means that you start to delegate the processes that you've built out. You can't just build something, sit on it, but then not take the action. Right. Lastly, scale. This is the marketing part, guys. Scale means rinse and repeat, A/B test. Everything you build is not going to be perfect. Just like the goals you set, they should be achievable. If we take away those limiting mindsets, they'll be achievable. But sometimes you have to test things, right? You have to test the creative, you have to test the copy, you have to test the audience. All you do is apply marketing to your operations. That's how you're going to scale your business up. That's how you're going to scale you up. I be test. What would my life look like as a sober individual? I'm happier right now. The happiest I've ever been. All right. So now bumping this up against the 4 C's, guys. So just a reminder, we got the audit, optimize, publish, scale. Chris's 4 C's, which is culture, content, community, and commerce. How do you drive these in your business? Well, for the culture piece, this could be your brand kit, your colors, your logos, your fonts, your proprietary voice. It could also be your brand story. We talked in depth about EPKs, culture, recruitment, retention. Go catch the replay, guys. Chris, if we were going to apply audit, optimize, scale to something within content, what would you choose from this remaining list? We've already applied it, guys, to 1 weekly live show, 1 to 2 hours. Here are all the different ways you can stretch that. Chris, what's another one you choose from here?
Out of the 4 C's?
Yeah, it could be within content. Yeah, within community, culture, commerce. What would you
I would say commerce.
Somewhere in commerce. Okay. So guys, some of the commerce cash flow systems we've talked about, free trainings, checklists, ebooks. We already kind of broke that one down, but I'll just re-review it here with y'all. So if we were going to apply audit, optimize, publish, scale, right, to your free training checklist, ebooks, which if you don't have this, definitely consider doing it. You have to give your customers a taste of what to expect, right? People that are offering trials or test drives understand this. So, what are you doing to your business to be able to offer this? How do we audit, optimize, publish, scale it? Well, first things, you look at the places that you can put that free training checklist ebook. I'm gonna talk about books because y'all know I'm a book connoisseur here. Okay, so where can you put that? Perhaps into your nurture sequence. Maybe you're warming them up to come on that demo call. Say, hey, you want to learn a little bit more about my framework, audit, optimize, publish, scale? Let me show you the ebook I wrote on it. It's a quick, less than 10-minute read. It's going to get you geared up so that when they come on to that demo call with whatever your lead magnet is, guys, they already understand you, they understand your frameworks, and they've started to build trust in exactly what you offer. Is this potential lead magnet, the ebook, also something fitting for an ad? Would that enhance your existing creative to potentially bring in more people? So audit the different places that you can place this inside and outside of your business, right? Does it belong somewhere on your funnel or your website? Again, do you kind of give it to someone as a warm up prior to a demo call? So audit the spots where you're having trouble and see where, you can insert some of those free resources to help kind of supplement the communication there. So optimize. What does this mean? So how do you optimize across your existing resources with an ebook? Well, can you use potentially the book in place of a form, an experience, a touch point, right? So if we look at the places that we can optimize ourselves, it's like, Chris, help me out with this one a little bit. If you're going to optimize the ebook after you've audited for places you can put it in your business, how would you optimize within your business with the ebook? Give me some thoughts, my dude.
So the first thing you want to do is just obviously think about your frequently asked questions. That's going to be the easiest play to get yourself started as far as what are the frequently asked questions your customers are asking when they start up? What are the frequently like frequent responses or frequent strategies that you kind of got to explain or break down for them? So for example, for us, a couple of frameworks that I always have to break down for our clients is like the value ladder, how a value ladder works. So I've created a training, a course, videos all around the value ladder. That's one aspect of it. Another aspect would be the customer journey. Most businesses don't understand what they theoretically understand what a customer journey is, but they don't actually use it and implement it into their business. So we describe and educate them on what that is and how that works. So these are different.
Pause right there, Chris. It
Yep.
doesn't have to be when we say ebook training checklist, people are thinking like a 200 page. You're thinking like this thing, right? You're thinking like a 200-page book that someone's got to read. It doesn't have to be that time consuming. You brought up something really big there, Chris. What does your customer journey look like? When they work with me, can it just be as simple, you pay your, your VA, give them an hour to put something together in Canva where it literally just breaks down a journey that you can send your customer ahead of time. This is a version of publishing as well, guys. So it doesn't have to be something that's super time consuming for either you or the customer in mind, but it's all about making it transparent and answering those questions ahead of actually even having, that conversation. It's like you're mind reading them because you've already dealt with this. So get ahead of it with the resource. Keep chopping it up, my dude. I love that. So you just mentioned a few of the things that you've published, right? So we talked about the value ladder. I just showed you guys a little bit more of a customer journey. Actually would love to hear from y'all. Let's take the mutes off, come out in the chat. Based on this conversation, what is the next free training resource, ebook, maybe that little one-page graphic like I just showed you guys? What are you guys going to publish? What are the consistent questions that you keep on getting from your customers that you need to get ahead of? Talk to
I
me.
like talking about pain points. So, what are some customer pain points that you guys are seeing right now in your niche, in your market? Like somebody said about roofing, other niches that we got out there. What are some pain points that you guys are seeing that we can be able to create an ebook around that pain point? Hey, are you tired of not getting qualified leads or whatever, or different type of stuff? So, give me some pain points that we use our digital marketing genius to help solve those problems for those customers. Let's unmute and engage, squad. Unmute
Come
and
on, guys.
engage.
Don't leave me and Chris being the only ones talking here, guys. Talk to me. I just shared a lot of personal shit with y'all that I don't tell everybody. Talk to me.
Facts.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. This is my first time jumping on the call, so I'm not really sure exactly how this works. So I just wanted to jump in, listen, and see what's going on, and then go from there.
Awesome. Welcome to the chat, my brother. So what we're talking about right now, we're talking about what are some things that you can use in your business, like some quick ebook trainings or some quick stuff that'll help automate more of what you do with your customers. So maybe some frequently asked questions that they have that you always answering, or some pain points or problems that they may be having that you always have to solve or answer for them. You know what I mean? What type of problems that they're having that you can have an ebook kind of solve that problem for you?
Yeah. We right now we have everything system down for all of our clients. So it's, I mean, most of the answers they already have answers to it. What we are trying to focus on primarily is growth at this point and scale internally. So
But those
this
documents that
was
you're saying that you have, those are internal documents or external?
external documents.
So your clients get some of that stuff too.
Yeah, we try to keep it as simple as possible without like complicating it, because the more shit you have, the less they follow in general.
Of course. Yep.
So we have it like less than a 1-page document, maximum 2 pages that goes through everything on the program, how everything works, what to expect, stuff like that. Because been doing this for like close to 4 years now, so the nitty-gritty details are ironed out for us. So it's not a problem on that case. In terms of like free ebooks and stuff like that, we don't really do much of that. The reason being is that it just takes away from the main focus, which is getting more appointments and closing more appointments. That said, if there's some free stuff, I usually just put it on YouTube and then blast it out to people. And then that increases the YouTube basically views for us, and people
Mhm.
come through that process, right? So that's been working well for us. But in terms of our main focus, we don't really do a lot of ebook stuff just because it takes away from like what is the main goal, which is like closing high ticket clients, you know?
Mhm.
So I
I
want to
love
hear
it.
from James in a sec, but you just said something really important there, Yash. Is it Yash?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So there's many ways you can publish. In fact, YouTube, right? IG Live, any kind of video is a form of publishing as well. So my dude, you are indeed doing it. You're just doing it in your own way. But I've got to ask you, so you're telling me that you've got 100% happy green clients, net promoter score roof. They're not complaining about a single thing. You're not getting a single question that you can put more content out there, whether it's video or written. You got perfectly
No,
happy
that
clients.
yeah, that's never gonna happen.
And never.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's always evolving, right? So like the thing that I do focus on is like, well, how can 20% of the stuff get 80% of the results for my clients? And that's the main thing, right? There's never going to be like perfection in it. If
Yeah.
there's a point where like we get 10 clients on board and all 10 clients have the same question, then yes, this is time we got to implement that into the mix, right? uh but
Josh,
if
you got anything on the 80/20?
What was that?
Do you have anything written on 80/20 yet? Or anything filmed on 80/20?
No, maybe. I think I have a video on it for my clients.
Bro, if you don't, there it is.
Yeah, no, there is a video on the 80/20 part. I remember doing it because like the more stuff you give to people, the less they follow in general. That's what I've noticed. So more complexity add to the program, more videos, more this, more that. I mean, sure it helps. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it also like takes away from like what is the main goal here? The main goal is to like generating the leads, following up with them, closing them, right? That's the main goal with everything that you're doing.
Got you, got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Love it, love it.
Yeah, but I like the call because like I was like, what is this winning mindset stuff? It's kind of interesting. Maybe it will help me a little bit in terms of like what we're trying to do internally, and how to break down goals and how to achieve it. That's basically what I was looking for it. So that I can get a template on like how to go about thinking through the process. That's basically what I was expecting from the call.
That's
Good
awesome.
deal,
That
man.
framework, that audit, optimize, publish, scale is going to be a great framework for you to figure out how to think about your ops and and scaling and optimizing. So that's beautiful. My brother James, you said you wanted to say something. Talk to us.
Yeah, man. So um, this call has been perfect for me. So thank you, Kat and Chris, for doing it. I appreciate you guys for doing
Let's get
that.
it.
Um, so I've been struggling for the last 3 years trying to quit a job that's paying me 100K a year,
Mm.
and
Those
with
are the
these short
hardest jobs to
sprints,
quit.
dude, you have no idea.
Oh, I do,
I was
bro.
so comfortable. Oh, you do? Because I was so comfortable. I was so comfortable, and it was like, where's my discipline? Where's my motivation? And then Joel one day was like, fuck that. Just set these short sprints, get shit done, and you'll get there. And now I'm there. So even with all the shit that I went through and that, it's finally there. And I'm glad I hopped on this call because it's such a great reminder of the base principles that you have to have. Because I was thinking, because I run an OF agency, and a lot of the time the problems isn't the systems, it's the mental of my clients. One day they'll be great, everything will be okay, and then the next they'll be like, well, I don't want to do anything. It's like, oh, come on. And
That's called dealing with creatives, bro. That's gonna happen
yeah,
no matter what you're dealing with, whether it's music artists, models, whatever. They're gonna be creative and they're gonna be doing whatever they want to do and how they want to do it. That's why we talk about these type of frameworks can help you optimize those things, because if you have systems in play, if you have content that helps them through those times, when they're having a hard time and they don't want to create, but you created templates or things to make the process simpler and easier for them, it allows them to still execute. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do need to make it more simpler, but I think the biggest thing is I need to involve some sort of motivational type stuff and discipline type of training into some sort on my onboarding, and that to keep them focused on the goal of why they're
Are
even
you
doing it
splitting
at the
revenues
start.
with them?
Yeah, 50-50 up to 20K. And what
Okay,
happens
so
when we hit it, it's like when we hit, sorry.
what I was gonna say is you can just gamify it for them so that, like, okay, you hit this amount this much, maybe you give them an extra 5% or 10% off of the revenue if they are being more consistent with you, because you know that you could give them that 5 or 10% because they're bringing in more revenue because they're being more consistent. So just think of ways to gamify it, so it's like the incentive is do more work. You don't do more work, you'll get less money, because that's literally what's gonna happen. Both of y'all gonna get less money. But like make it
Yeah.
clear in your way of engaging with them. Hey, look, it's 50%, but if you don't if 5 days go by and you don't put out no content, we're both gonna lose out an extra $1,000 at the end of the month. You get what I'm saying? But if you do,
Yeah.
if you make content for 5 days every week, I'll give you an extra 5% bonus from my side at the
Oh,
end
I
of
like
the.
that.
You see what I'm saying?
That's nice. Yeah, yeah, I like that.
So
I didn't even
that's the
think
way
about
I
doing
would
that. That's great.
motivate that, because that is also a very it's a simple but difficult model to make money, because you are dependent on the artist, on the creative, to make
Yeah.
money. So you have to be even more kind of like a record label executive rather than an agency label. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I do. It's like, and what it feels like is as soon as you hit the above middle class like payout for them, it's when they start to get lazy. So that helps so much.
What
Is
do you mean by
because
that?
of like
Explain what you mean by that.
so like say let's just say in California, what's the minimum wage out there? Like 28 an hour or 30 an hour, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the minimum wage. Let's just say it's
It's
30.
20. Yeah. Well,
It's
go
20.
ahead.
So
I think it's 20.
so
Yeah.
let's say they start making about on sales about $30 an hour. That's when they start to get lazy. They're fine up till the $25 an hour, but then once they hit that 30, they're like, oh, I'm comfortable, I'm good. And it's
Perfect. So
like,
now you already got enough data that you know that data statistic.
Mhm.
Now what you need to do is figure out how to raise it. So
yeah,
if they're getting like lazy on you at 40, figure out a new incentive. I mean at $30 an hour to get them to $40 an hour. You see what I'm saying?
agreed. Yeah,
Because
agreed.
if all you have to do now is where their mark is at, now you have to show them how to get to the mark you want them at. It's cool if they could if they're getting lazy at 30, okay, that's a problem. I want them to get lazy at 40 because now I know I'm getting a smooth 10 or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So like that would be my incentive. Okay, here's my incentive. Get to this number because I'm gonna give you this, this, and this. Or not only that, once you hit that number X amount of times, I'm gonna give you 3 other girls that you're going to mentor and start teaching them how to get to the numbers you're at, so you can make a percentage of theirs. Start MLMing this thing and make it even bigger than have them start their own little mini agency inside of your agency.
Love that.
You see what I'm trying to say? We got to be creative
Yeah.
on how we incentivize our clientele, because even though these are your partners, in a way, they're really more your clients, right? So you need to be able to actually, like the way we do it for our agency clients, set checkpoints and metrics on how we're rising that value, how we're bringing their value up, both bringing money into us, but also bringing money, giving back money to them because we're providing more value, right? So
Yeah.
you
So
might be, you could charge more to them and take a bigger percentage if you start doing things like, hey, we're going to start doing live mastermind meetups and teaching more people how to do this and and like you start becoming the Joel of OnlyFans. You get what I'm trying to say? Like teaching people how to get to
yeah.
100K agencies and OnlyFans. Like that's a whole play, bro.
Yeah, I like that because I've joined 3 other courses and they're trash. Just to be honest, from what I've gotten in
I'm
Rise,
very familiar with the
it's just
space, my
insane.
brother. I'm very familiar
Yeah,
with the space, my brother, and because it has the stigma all around it and all this type of bullshit, there's a lot of opportunity if done correctly. There's a lot of opportunity if done
Agreed.
with respect, with business, you know, as the forefront thought pattern of it. There's a lot of opportunities because there's people like, I mean, you know, there's many people out there just scamming people, like literally straight up scamming people. So if you could come
Yeah.
in with legitimacy, structure, and a full out, like, you know, like, and trust campaign that these women could back and feel comfortable with, as well as business owners could feel comfortable investing because there's a business model that makes sense there. Now you got a really good cornered market that you could kind of, you know, scale and grow in very quickly.
Love it.
that.
Great optimizing there,
Awesome.
Chris. I loved
You
it.
already
Every
know.
second
So
of it.
damn,
Thank you.
we end it.
Thank you.
We end in the morning spicy with a little OnlyFans action, huh?
Good way to start a Monday, you know? Oh man. Thank you guys so much for hearing that. Seriously, and letting me be a little vulnerable with y'all. Hopefully we've shared some frameworks with you that you guys are going to take action on. And I don't know, Chris, I think next call I want to hear some frameworks from y'all cuz again, if you guys don't have these, you are leading others without guidance. I think that phrase is called like leading the blind with the blind. Is that how that goes?
The blind leading the blind.
There you go. So what's your framework?
Yes, I think I think that's gonna be the end of the series of me and you next week. Let's do that. Let's have a nice end of the series closeout call where we're gonna actually do live coaching. You guys are gonna come on, bring in your frameworks, your depth, like what your plan, what your customer journey is, and we're gonna talk to you guys about what we think about it, any things that we see could be changed or played around with, and we'll go from there. So I think that that's going to be a great class next week. I appreciate everybody tapping in with us. Make sure you follow us at Mr. Grow Your Business _ at The Real Cat Lopez on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. And just comment on Facebook in the Facebook group Agency Lab and let everybody know to tap in with us, please, because you already know we do this for free out of love for you guys to make sure everybody's growing and building. So if you guys could comment on the Facebook group and just let Joel and the whole squad know that we did a great job and that you guys enjoyed this class so other people could keep participating and engaging, all right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Keep winning and don't be afraid of what's to come because the only thing to be afraid of is how small your dreams are. Dream bigger so you don't have to be afraid. Let's get it.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Peace.